So you'll receive this recording in 2 days. I'm going to start a timer. We're going to just be about an hour. And for those who are joining us for the first time, this is called the Starseed Hot Seat Coaching. So it's kind of like a mastermind. And it's just going to be about an hour. And what we do is that we go in and we'll take turns. Normally it's like 3 or 4, but it's a small group today, so we can get through everybody, I'm sure. And you just present your question, your challenge in your business, or if it's something personal that's crossing over to business, feel free to offer it. And then you'll gain some support. So I'll give you I'll do some mentoring, possibly a little coaching, depending on time. So anything around your business, clients, payments, programs, maybe how you are showing up, whatever support you need to take your business to the next level. And of course, you're going to be learning from other people. So anything that we share on this call remains confidential. It extends to the recording as well. You will receive a recording, and there's some people who have registered for this hot seat coaching, so they'll receive it as well, but it doesn't go public at all. You may notice that when you receive the recording, it's on YouTube, but it's actually under a private listing. It's just because it's a larger file and it's the easiest way to transfer that over to you. Okay. So welcome to our July hot seat coaching. And Natasha, so good to see you as well. You probably can hear me, so feel free to come on when you're ready. We have some students from our cohort here, which I'm very excited about, and Julian, who's our teacher in training. So our first cohort for our high level coach training program is in progress. We're almost at the halfway mark, and it's going amazing. We're learning high level core coaching skills. We've already done like a full round of coaching practice to get direct feedback for me. I have my PCC, which for the International Coaching Federation is the professional coach accreditation. So I'm just giving direct feedback to take their coaching skills to the next level. And the beautiful thing with this program is that we have people at different levels, like obviously Julian, who's more experienced, the people who are beginning, but the way that no matter where anyone is in their game, I meet you where you're at, and everyone's just elevated to wherever you're at to your next level, but it's almost at the same level, which is I've had beginner people mention to me that, I can't believe how much I'm grasping already. So it really is a high level course. And I have Leah Grant, who is a master certified coach, and she is the advisor I hired as my advisor for my school. And she goes over all my materials that I've written. And she's like, this is a PCC level course, by the way. This is not a core foundation course. Roz, would you say, Julian? So it's a lot. So we're training you at a high level. And at the end of it, we are in the process of getting credit through the ICF. So there's really no reason, but I'm just speaking this to existence, that those credits will go towards your coach specific training hours. I also do private mentoring for students who are working towards their ACC. So I'm working with a few of those right now. So I'm doing that on a private basis, not on a group basis. So if you are interested, let me know. What else can I share with you? So if you are interested in joining our next cohort, we already have the cohort filling up. It is going to be a smaller program. Initially, I was accepting 12 people in this program, but right now I'm feeling it's just going to be about 8. And we already have 5 people on the wait list. So if you're interested in joining the next cohort, which should be happening the end of this year, early next year, send an email to info@starseedacademy.ca so that you will be the first to receive the date, as well get priority in applying for the program. And then if you get accepted to the program, you will receive a discount on tuition. Okay, so if you are interested, I would recommend putting your name on that list. We have a mastermind starting in fall. So what that is, the intention right now, the name is going to be Freedom and Flow Mastermind. So basically creating freedom and flow in your business and in your life. It'll be the components of it is at the beginning, there's going to be like a personal / professional development tool that you learn, that you get that support for yourself. And then we're going to do hot seat coaching where you all get some support. This is going to be an intimate mastermind so that everyone gets a chance to share. And then we go into breakout rooms for another exercise. And all of it is about taking your business to the next level, but really integrating and building a business of freedom and flow. So being around like-minded people, having that tools, having that support, getting mentorship from an ICF accredited coach, myself, and then we'll have other coaches who come in as well as guests. So yeah, I'm just letting you know, you're one of the first to know. And then when the details come out, which should be by September, and we're going to start mid-fall for this program. Okay, so just want to let you know that. And then we actually have Julian, who's going to be teaching a human design course through Starseed Academy. And we are planning on starting that in the fall, as well. One, about how to integrate that in your business, but also how to do readings as well. So we're going to release that information. So just be on the lookout in our newsletter. And in terms of other topics or events, our next hot seat coaching will be August 3rd. Tuesday, August 3rd at 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is 12 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm glad to see you all here. Please come out again. And then September, I believe we have Julian, who's going to be leading us in this hot seat coaching event. Okay. So those who are listening to the recording, I'll reintroduce myself. Everyone here does know me. I'm Minerva, the director and founder of Starseed Academy, as well as a certified spiritual coach. And I have my own coaching practice called Goddess of Wisdom Spiritual Life Coaching, where I do private, group, and masterminds. And really, it's for soul service providers and spiritual life coaches who are ready to take their business to the next level and really just create a life and business of freedom. And whatever it is you think that's impossible or has been feeling impossible, is just making that possible. Really, that's like my mission. I get that through a download, that you're here to just show people the impossible is truly possible. And it's something I've been passionate about since I was a little girl, where someone say, you can't do that. That's not possible. You can't have a career in that. And my question would just be like, why? Like, I really didn't understand the limitations that people place. It was just like, why? So it all makes sense now, because this is basically, it is possible. Like, I went from, I don't want to say I was poor, but, and that just wasn't my experience. So there's no judgment in that. But I believe I grew up thinking I was poor. And when I really look back, I actually wasn't, but it was the mindset and the energy that I was around. And overcoming all the things people said that was impossible. I started dance late. My parents were immigrants who came to Canada. They struggle with money, which is understandable, but they've created such a great life for themselves. But even with that, they had the mentality of, we're not rich, we don't have enough, there's never going to be enough. And so that just became a passion of mine, because I was like, well, you're creating this reality. You just don't realize how much you have created, how much abundance is available, how much freedom you can create for yourself. And when I started unconditioning all of those false beliefs and limitations around scarcity, around lack, around fear, really so much, and do my own personal work, of course, as a coach, and on a personal level, my business just keeps growing and just keeps expanding. So I really believe that it's the limitations we put on our mind and in our bodies and in our energy field. And when we clear that, we can just open up to so much possibilities. And so I want to help others do the same. Okay. So a little rant on myself, but let's get to it for you. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should get to everyone. If you have a question today, or maybe you just want to sit back and observe. So we'll just do about 5 minutes on each person, or at least check in. Or if you're just here to observe, just let me know. If a question comes up, just put it in the chat box and I can answer it that way as well. So when you come on the hot seat, just share in the most succinct way what is the struggle that you're going through right now and how I can best support you. And then I'll give you some feedback. Okay. Who would like to go first? Jordy, go for it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sorry, my question is hopefully really quick. I just have a client that I'm struggling with the payment, with giving him the option to have a payment plan, because I feel like the lack of commitment to pay on time is not there. And I know that they say, oh, it was an oversight on my part. Is there a way to automate it so that it gets pulled on the same day, or what's an app you recommend? Because they're willing to pay it, they just delay it till the last minute. And I don't like to book the next session until I have payment.
Agreed. Okay. So did they already start working with you, or you just got a sense?
Yeah.
They did. Okay. And they've already missed payments?
No, they haven't missed it, because so we didn't have a set date. I guess it's on my part, it's a lack of knowing. We just agreed, we'll schedule the sessions as you pay. So it's going past the mark where I feel comfortable. And I'm like, okay, we're going on 3 weeks and I'm waiting on that payment. And that I almost fired her. I gave myself till this Friday to be like, have that conversation.
Yeah.
But then she reached out to me this morning saying, no, the payment will come through today. But I don't like asking for money when that was
Yeah.
the agreement from the beginning. Does that make sense?
Yes, I agree. Um, yes, so I definitely recommend automating this. So number one, I think you getting clear on your boundaries. I definitely don't think you should go pay as you go sort of thing,
Mhm.
because that's really draining and you're going to be met with this, right? Because people will, so you, I think it starts with you and being very clear on your boundaries. Like, what do you want? What will feel good? So
Mhm.
maybe if you are doing a payment plan, you need to be clear on what that payment will be. How many months are you working together, or how many
This
sessions?
one is 3 months and we're already 2 sessions in. We've already done, the discovery and all that, and we're about to do session number 3. And last conversation when we ended, I said, hey, I'm waiting on the payment to go ahead and schedule number 3. And then that was discussed. And then the following week I sent an email. And then this week I'm like, okay, at what point I honestly almost fired her because we discussed it and then I followed up with the email. So it was frustrating on my part to be asking when this is something that she signed up for. So I guess that's where the question of how do I automate it is, because if I did that, I would just put in the contract on the first, you will get charged whatever. And
Yeah.
then we don't have to have that awkward email and that awkward conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would, number one, I've been using PayPal in that case. I did switch over currently to lately to QuickBooks. But so I'll just speak about PayPal. So PayPal is good in that sense, so that you can set up like a subscription. So 3 payments of, or the first payment, they can do a deposit of just say 500, and then the remaining is divided into 6 payments or 7 payments, whatever payment plan you want to do.
Mhm.
And then that way they put in their credit card or interact whatever number one time, and then it gets withdrawn on the same cycle, the fourth of every month or whatever that is. So that way it eliminates that. But I think what's also important is follow up with the email, say you just revised your you're just revising, I don't want to say your contract, because you can't change a contract in the middle of it, but just updating your payment process. So
Mhm.
just notifying her, and that now we're now going to set it up through PayPal. You just enter in your information and it will be deducted on the first of every month or whatever. I think it starts from the day she starts her payment, that puts in that
Mhm.
first payment. And then also there's a late payment fee of blank.
Okay, and I did have an additional question because she's in Tanzania right now. She
Mhm.
moved from California, so her original issue was, hey, because I'm in a different country, they don't have the same stuff. I'm like, I don't know, because you can log in online and use your credit card, but she was trying to do, it's called POP, where it goes directly to my bank. But I don't know, I guess this is the
Yeah,
lack of
no.
not knowing. I don't like that, so.
Yeah. No, PayPal is like international. There's no
Okay.
reason why she can't accept PayPal. She can do it on an app on her phone. In the States, do you all have something called Venmo or Zeller or something like
Mhm,
that?
mhm,
I think those apps as well. I'm in Canada, so I don't have those apps, but you can look into that. So I'll look at the fees. I know the fee, you have to consider that you can increase the fee now, but
mhm,
for future, you want to integrate that 2.9% that PayPal takes.
mhm.
But I think, yeah, you can say I'm revising the payment structure, and here's a payment PayPal link, and now you can just put it in one time and it'll automatically apply the payment every month. So that way it doesn't delay her payments as well, and you guys can stay on top of her progress.
Will do. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Minerva,
Yes,
just 2 things I'd like to add.
please.
If you use Stripe, there's a service called Partially. That's what quantum human design folks use, and it's what I'm starting to move my stuff to. And they do charge an add-on fee on top of Stripe, but I build it into my payment plans. I charge extra for a
Perfect.
payment plan. And foreign, international, there's a company called wise.com for
Yes,
transferring funds internationally. That's how I pay my virtual assistant. She's in Britain.
yes,
And then also just, keep in mind that you still may have to fire clients
Yeah.
because, there's charges don't go through, and then you got to hound them about, hey, your
Mhm.
scheduled payment didn't go, so
yeah.
just keep that in mind. It's not a silver bullet, but it definitely does ease things a lot.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, those are two. I used to use Stripe, but Wise Transfer, I use that as well for my assistant. And I think yeah, and this is like all part of the process of building your business, right? But I think once you're very clear at the get-go to automate it and less manual stuff that you have to do and follow up, the better, right? So this is just making sure it's clear in the contract, set it up in PayPal or Stripe or whatever system you decide to use. If you use If you're going to get a lot of international clients, I would choose something that is international and easy. People want easy as well, right? And it allows you to stay focused on what you're good at. You're not here to collect money. You're not here to, chase people down.
Yeah, thank you. That's what I felt like, a debt collector, and I don't like that. It's not fun.
Yeah. And then eventually maybe you have an assistant who follows up with that. So it's funny, you have one that just kind of slips through the cracks, because I had mine very like automated, and then one person slipped through the cracks when I switched over QuickBooks. So right now I'm in the process of automating that again, because right now I don't think QuickBooks automates it. I got to look into that. I'm meeting with my bookkeeper today about that. So does that help? Does that feel complete?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Julian.
Thanks, Julian. Good feedback. Who would like to go next? SB, do you have something?
Sure. Hi guys, I'm SB, spiritual life coach. You know, the one problem that I still encounter with a couple of my clients is they say they really want something, like two of them, and it's funny, both of them are around weight loss. Like they come in with that being one of their 5 things, but they hem and haw around it. Like, they're just like, it's like, okay, so basically trying to get down to what would you like to try? And they're just like, well, I could, but like, I have one of my clients who's been researching what meal plan they should be doing for months, and it's just like, well, what keeps you from committing? And they still like, I try to ask all these powerful questions, but they're still not. And that frustrates me. Like, I know that that's one of the things that I get to work through. I'm very action oriented. And I know that I'm trying to get clear around my like soulmate client. And for me, my soulmate client is somebody who's willing to take action. Like, that's how I look at it. Like somebody who's ready to take action. I don't want somebody who's coming to me saying they want to change, but are almost wanting an outside force to come in and change them.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they want me to give them a pill that's going to motivate them. And it's just like, well, no, you take action, and that's how motivation is created. So
yeah,
I know that's very loaded, but I'm sure you hear in between everything that I'm saying, like it's a frustration on my behalf. I'm like, I ain't got time for people who don't want to change.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the process you go through to get more clear on the soulmate client. So 2 things I have to say on this is, number one, yes, it's, there's people who says they want the change, and those who are truly ready to do the change. So I think there's things that you can do to get very clear on this. So this is an opportunity to get clear on that soulmate client. And so the word that comes to mind is transformational line. So where are they on this transformational line? There's point A and there's point Z. Z, let's say, is the end destination. They lose however many pounds. They have more confidence, more self-esteem. They got what they want. Like, what's the transformation you are providing that you believe you can provide? That's what the Z is, right? So where are they now in that transformational line? From where do they need to be? And most times they need to be over the halfway mark of that transformational line in order to be ready for that. Because everyone wants to lose weight, everyone wants success, everyone wants happiness, but who is ready and willing? Really, the word is ready. And I heard that word differently this week. It was like, we say someone who is ready for change, ready to be empowered, ready for confidence, ready for love. But really, let's unpack what ready is like you said, they're at the point they're like, I've tried everything and I got to do something different. I'm taking ownership. I have to do this. And they're really ready to do the work themselves, right? Now, this comes back to some of the marketing message that you're sending, maybe directly or indirectly, and this is for everybody, is us being very intentional about our words and our marketing and what we say, because sometimes we go into the negative, we go into the pain points. Have you been struggling to lose weight? Has it been affecting your self-esteem? Is it affecting your love life? Well, like we focus on the negative, the fear, I call the wounded masculine messaging, versus focusing on more empowering language. Like, you've tried everything, you need to do more, and the answer is within you, and there's just something in you don't know how to overcome. You need that guidance. So being more intentional of the energy the person needs to be in order to see that change, to see that transformation. Is that making much sense so far?
Yeah. What resonates with me is the transformational line and getting into really what does ready mean to you. Like, I think that that's really powerful.
Yeah.
I'm curious, for you as a coach in your experience, does there come a point where you let go of a client because it just doesn't look like they're in a sense because ethically I feel like I shouldn't keep you if you know what I mean? Like I just feel like I shouldn't keep on taking your money if you're not getting the results you're looking for.
Yep.
Does this make sense? Do you guys I don't know if I'm even questioning it right.
Well, yes and no, because here's the thing. I maybe just depends where you are in the contract. If there's a few more sessions left, I will
Yeah.
use that and I'll talk about what to do with what you can do in the sense.
Mhm.
But I'm just getting the sense of like being very clear that you want to start working with more empowered clients and not once, because in the language and the message that we send out, this is where I'm trying to get to,
Yeah.
is that we do sometimes send off the message of, I have the fix, I can help you, I have the answers, I have the strategy. And I've been guilty of that, which is like 6-7 years into my coaching career now. And only now I realize that the messaging I was putting out at the beginning was like, I have the 10 steps too, and live your best life. And it was a lot of, I didn't intend to be false about it. I believed in it, but I felt like I had to choose this very separate marketing message that wasn't really gut connected. And it attracted a lot of people who are like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, fix it for me. Like people who are not willing to look internal, they're more codependent. And I had to enable and pull them and drag them along. And they may see some result, but they weren't seeing the ultimate transformation. Right. So that's why I really think in the languaging and the marketing, and us also, it only comes with time of working with people that we are very clear in the psyche of those who are truly ready for this transformation. What's the energy? Who do they need to be in order to see that transformation? Right. So I think number one is like cleaning up that messaging and using this as an opportunity to get clear on that energy of that client. And then now you know what to do next time, right? So now you're with this client now, I want to say get into the pocket. So it's a term I talk about at Starseed. It's kind of loaded, but I'm just going to give like the Cole's notes on this. But you're asking questions around, what else could you do? What's taking you so long? Like what's blocking you, all that stuff. But really use that, really go deep in there, like fearless coaching, leadership coaching, and not being afraid of like feeding back. I'm noticing it's been 3 months and you've been looking for a diet here. So what's really going on? Get underneath. Like it's not about the diet. It's not about the plan. It's not about, where there's all these different diet plans. I don't even know that's not the issue. So I think you get down to the real issue is where, and sometimes I have those clients again who sneak in and I go, where do you think the answer is going to come from? How do you think the change is going to come about? And it's because they do think it's going to come outside of them, that someone's going to give them a pill, a plan, an answer to fix it all for them. And this is an opportunity for you to give them a powerful coaching experience and really go deep into like bringing the attention to themselves. As how much are you trusting yourself that you have the answer? What is really blocking? Because it's not about the diet anymore. Do you know what I mean? And obviously with your style, you're the goddess, you empower women, right? So what's in the most empowering goddess-like way to bring them to that? That's what's going to be life-changing. So I don't get the sense you need to fire them, because I think number one, it's like, we have to be, this is an opportunity for us clearing up our marketing messaging and getting clear on who I really want to work with. But I also think this is an opportunity for you to go deeper and be fearless in your coaching.
Awesome. Thank you.
Does that help?
It really does. Thank you.
Okay, good. Roz.
If I may, for me, I just want to share, like, as you guys are talking about this, and I think Julian will probably be able to identify with this, but coming from an IT background, it sounds like what we would call the definition of ready. It to me, I mean, I'm probably gonna have to write this down of what defines a person to be ready. What does it mean to be ready? What does it look like for a client to be ready? And it's not so much of having this hard checklist of, yes, they have this, yes, they have this, but to give some kind of like parameters and indicators of when a person is ready, because they might check all of the boxes of being mentally ready, emotionally ready to take the action, but they broke. You see what I'm saying? But they broke as hell. So
yeah,
It's almost like for me, it helps me to take that, what I've learned in the IT field and apply it here and create a definition of ready.
Yes. And that's a really good point. Thanks, Roz, because we also think about there's two different types of ready, right? Like, or actually, let's go deeper into this. There's like two graphics, demographics and psychographics. So demographics, you're 20 to 30, you got out of school, you're full time, you have your own condo, blah, 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 like the surface things. But we got to toss that because really it could be helpful in some cases, but really in attracting your soulmate client is you're getting into the psychographics. How are they feeling? How are they thinking? What's the energy that they be? What are their belief systems? Right? Because that's to me the definition. That's where you really get into who is the ideal client. Because that's what changed it for me, is getting into the emotional, mental, spiritual being of my ideal clients. And the more I zoned in on that, the more I got that through Starseed, through my last group program, through my ideal clients right now. Right. And when you get really clear on who is truly ready for this, money and all those other details are just not a factor. Right. People are just like, I'll pay for this. Yes. How do I start? Can I do full? I had a client who's like, can I do full? I'm like, yeah, sure. And actually I was surprised because it is on a higher end. So like once to me, it's like when you're really, and this is a beautiful opportunity. And I think there's one way to get, my way was going through trial and error of like working with some of the non-soulmate clients and then getting really clear, like who is ready for this transformation? What will it take to lose that weight, to have more confidence? What does it truly take? And it's only going to take what they have inside. It's not going to take what you have or what you can offer. You know what you can offer, right? But who do you need in order to hold hands on this journey and guide them to this transformation? That would be life-changing. And it'll be easier to say no to those people and also to differentiate them in however you do your screening calls or what your process is. Because then there's people who you get a sense they're not ready. And I remember like one girl before I launched my I just launched my group program last year, and she wanted to, because the program is called Live Your Impossible, which is a perfect example because I was very clear to not give any messaging about I can fix anything, right? Anything is impossible. I believe anything's possible, but only if you believe it and you are ready to do that work. But she's like, I just want you to help me get back with my boyfriend. And I was like, that's not really what this program is about, right? I honor that. But I ask those questions. What if at the end of this process, you're not with your boyfriend? What if you realize it's something else, right? So I went into those questions. I just didn't take them on just for the money, or this could be one of the clients in my group program, right? Because I believe you're all here because you all are here. We're all here for a reason. And it's to serve on a higher level. It's for a transformation. It's for that life-changing, core-shaking experience. So I know it's nothing to do with money, right? So it's just being very clear on that energy, that mindset, that, because this is such an intimate experience. So this is the time you're spending with people in their life. They're investing in you. I don't say they're investing in you, they're investing in themselves. But it's such an intimate exchange that don't be afraid to like zone in on like, there has to be this type of energy. Because that energy can show up as male or female or 30s or 40s or 50s. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I think demographics is just kind of like messes things up sometimes when we think too hard about that. So any questions on that, SB? Okay. Who would like
Thank you
to
for
go
the
next?
feedback. Sorry. Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
the feedback, Roz.
Yes, collaborative. Love it. Because you inspire so many things. You all have such great experience to share. So please continue doing what you're doing and sharing here. Caitlin, I'm going to check in with you. Anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, so I just last month took the leap out of my toxic corporate job. And I know Minerva and SB, they remember how much I complained about this job. And I had something else like lined up. I was actually going to be working underneath another coach, kind of like learning the ins and outs of the business and things like that. And then at the very last minute, she like rescinded the offer and it fell through. So then I was like, cool, I'm technically unemployed now, which it's fine. I had like a few freak out moments, but I had like enough saved where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be like living on the street. But I'm really just trying to figure out, kind of similar to you, SB, just who my soulmate client is, because I am ready to attract them. Like, I want to be working with them. I want to get my coaching business really started, because as of right now, I've had a few intro calls, but I haven't like locked in any clients yet. So I'm still like very early stages and trying to attract the right people to my business. So I wanted to see if you had like any advice on getting started and kind of moving that forward.
Yeah. So the first thing that came up as you were talking was just clarity in your vibration about it. And this is a good place to be, right? Like, this is what you need to figure out. So clarity. So before you can be clear on your ideal client, I think you need to be clear on the transformation and the journey you're taking people on. So here are a few questions for you. What is the transformation you can provide, that you can facilitate? Or what is a transformation you've been through, because that you have the knowledge, the experience that you can take people through, and or what are you super passionate about, right? Another way to look at it is what does your soul tell you you're here to do? I feel like you know the answer to that one. What does your soul tell you you're here to do, even if it doesn't make sense to the logical mind?
To help people achieve their deepest desires and dreams, and like giving them a place where they can, being a support system to them and guiding them and helping them like really uncover and get to the root causes of what may be blocking them, so that they can push through those or transform through those, and to really be able to live out their purpose in this lifetime. Because there's so many people out there that they want to do things and they just feel like they can't do them.
So that's all beautiful, and your name is the Comforted Soul Coach, right? And so I got the sense that you can do all of that, but in like a comforting soul safe space, like you guide them on that. The other thing came to mind is like, what area? Is there a certain area that really lights you up or speaks to you, or you find there's been repetition in terms of even your practice clients or people you worked with in the past?
I think it's like career, relationships, like people just being fearful, like kind of the transformation that I went through. I mean, and it was still really hard, really hard and scary. But now that I'm on the other side of it, I'm like, wow, I'd much rather be unemployed, unemployed than like working for these people still. So I think it's just like career, relationships, just helping them navigate out of a time that may be really hard, and providing that comfort in the times of discomfort, so that they feel empowered to move through to the next, to the greater, highest and greatest good for themselves.
Yeah. So there you go. You have your messaging right there. And I feel like you had to go through that. Like I take out that word unemployed, because you were working that whole time, even through this transition, and you're working now, right? You had to go through that school plane in order to put your business together, your messaging, and somewhere to start. And that's another thing with messaging, y'all, is this is because you land here, this is going to change maybe in the next 6 months, 12 months. It's as you evolve, it will, like I'm on my 11th, I don't even know, I can't keep track in terms of the transformation in the ideal client, right? So you sound very clear what you're saying. So I would just say, trust that, run with it. Fine tune, get a clear message, something that's clean, concise, and that speaks to people. Have a clear offering that speaks to what answers their desires, their goals. Get clear on now you can get clear, okay, this is what you offer, and like, you're the ideal client. We're always our ideal client, right? So where did you have to be in order to be where you are now? To be willing to do the work, ready to do that work, right? So burnt out, fried at your job, in your gut, this is not right for you. There's a purpose. You just you're scared to take that leap, but it's in you, and it hurts to stay here, but it'll also hurt if you didn't take this leap. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of just throwing out languaging here, but just get very clear on that A to Z person, right? Well, let's say what's the middle point of the alphabet, whatever it is. Right? Like, where were you in order to be there, to be where you're at now, in order for you to take that leap, to make the decisions, to do the work? That's your ideal client. So to summarize what we're saying here is that now that you know, like, it's what you've been through, that's the transformation, that's the journey that you're on, that you're taking people on, then you need to be, now that you know the transformation, now you can be clear on that person who's ready to take that transformation, to take that journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes, definitely.
Good. So homework there for you.
Yeah.
But fun work. I think that stuff, just the clarity is just exciting, right?
Definitely.
Do you know your human design by any chance? I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm a 2/4 emotional generator.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that job was very draining on you. I remember, like,
Oh,
you would just cry because you're so tired.
Yeah,
right?
I was really, really, really unhealthy and sick. And it just was like, and it was really in the throes of when I was in the course with you,
Yeah.
in class, where I was just like, I've got to get out. And it still almost took me a full year,
Yeah.
to get out. So it took time, but when you told me you'll know when you're ready. And I was like, oh, I don't know, we'll see. And then one day it just was like, I got to get the heck out of here.
Yeah. 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 You just got to follow what lights up that gut. Right. But at that emotional wave, you had to ride it out too, emotionally.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see her. This is exciting. Like, if I feel that wave, and I was there when you were like at that like height or low, I should say. But so much is just open up. It just seems lighter. You're on the right path. It's just what I'm sensing. So good for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. Who's next? Julian, do you have anything you want to share, or any insights here, or support I can support you with?
So I put it in the chat, but Caitlin, I'd love to connect because I might have some referrals for you. So
Nice.
I sometimes get people who are interested in my work, but they're in crappy jobs, but they don't really want to change into anything. They're not a fit for me. But I think it would be great to refer them to someone, because I don't have anyone to send them to right now. So I put the email. Please reach out. Yeah. So so I suppose one thing that I'm kind of working on, Minerva, that maybe I'd just like to kind of sanity check with the group is some pricing around a new offering that I'm working on. So I get a lot of clients, my niche is around this idea of soul's mission and unique calling. And I get a lot of clients that move on to develop businesses, what I call soulpreneurs, because they're in the business of spirit. And I'm planning to start a mastermind that will sort of help them navigate, authentic marketing, bookkeeping, all these different problems that, we've all struggled with, right? And so I'm going to offer 3 tiers. So sort of a bronze, silver, gold. The first tier is just going to be like some content, on a particular topic once a month, a networking meeting where they kind of do breakout rooms. They meet with other soulpreneurs, talk about issues, maybe find people they can refer each other, that kind of thing, and like a Q&A session. So, no coaching element. And I'm thinking of pricing that at $149 monthly. And then the next tier would be you'd get 2 group coaching calls on top of that. And I was thinking of targeting like $249 for that. And then the final tier, I was thinking like something around $399. I was going to kind of like knock down the price a little since they're buying so much and it's on a recurring thing. But it'll include one-on-one session with me. And I'm not sure how I feel about the $399, but I just felt once I started getting up too high with that, it was going to be like a barrier for people, because I know how those of us who are starting businesses, sometimes we're kind of watching what we're spending. So yeah. So I just wanted to kind of sanity check my pricing and see what people thought or how it resonated.
Okay. So I'll start here, and then I'd love to hear from the group for sure. So how do you feel about these pricings right now?
I feel pretty good about the first 2 tiers. I worry about the 3rd tier being too inexpensive.
I thought the first tier was actually too cheap.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So this is, I'll share my gut, but you know what's
Okay.
right for you. The two things that came out was really cheap at the beginning, but also I love that you have the ideal client in mind in terms of what are they gonna afford, like what can they say yes to, but also you want to wean out those who are going to be like, dilly-dallying in this, right? You want those who are like, okay, I need to take a leap on myself here, but that's comfortable. So I mean, it's not too far off. I mean, you could start there as well. Maybe that's the early bird price and then add it. The second thing that came up is I feel like offering 3 is a little confusing. Because I just heard you say 2. So I'm wondering, like for me, it's like I just like I on the opposite side, I would like simplicity. So it's either just the basic or the upgrade, right? So either maybe the first one is like the mastermind you mentioned, then maybe one group coaching call. So then you can have that option. And then the second option, like the upgrade, is like that. Plus if you want one-on-one coaching a month. So to me, it's like there's less to people say no. And again, a confused mind never buys. Like, which one do I need? And I feel like the 2 group coaching is a lot. Well, you are a mani gen, so you may have the energy for that. Not I. But I was feeling like, is it needed? Do they need 2 group coaching calls? Because the first container you're holding, that's very valuable. And then a second one that gives you the position of coaching. And then the third option, if they need more than that, then that gives them more reason to pay for the upgrade.
Yeah.
Again,
So you're saying streamline it down to 2 tiers and short, like have less group and add the one-on-one and make the second tier like a little like higher than what I was even thinking.
Yeah. And I think $3.99 if you're doing private. How long is the private session?
Just a normal 1-hour session.
Yeah. I feel like you can even do 500 for that.
That's what I was thinking, like 2 group coaching and then like a one-on-one at like 500 is what I was kind of originally thinking, but I was afraid I was getting to like a ceiling that people would pay for that. But
no.
Yeah,
because your private time is very valuable. So I would even say that can give you can do like a 250, 300 entry range, and then even 5. I think you can go a little higher for one-on-one, to be honest.
Yeah. And the reason I was thinking about having a base tier with no coaching is I can take as many people that want the content and the Q&A. But obviously, I have to put number limits for group coaching to be effective. And I have to even more severely restrict the number of one-on-ones I can work with.
Exactly. Yeah. So you want to just whatever would feel good. You only have 4 spots or whatever that number is for you. And that way you can funnel more people into the base one. And those who are like, no, I really want my separate time with you, they're going to pay for it. That's not like, it's not unreasonable at all to pay 500 because normally your other one-on-one is because I know what your other packages are at. So I think this is a good funnel into that.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. That's helpful.
Just a thought, and again, take it with a grain of salt, but I like the idea of like the basic like package that Minerva's saying. But what about the thought to maybe doing add-ons? Like, and if you want like a one-on-one, that's an additional like you could increase your package, kind of like where you're gonna take a flight, and then they're like, and if you'd like to choose your seat, it's this much more. And I don't know, like kind of adding it on, you don't realize it because you're like already like, well, I'm already paying this much. So what's another? And if you get them to say yes to your basic, they're going to see what you're offering. And then they're like, oh, I want more. So then it's easier for them to add on. I don't know if that resonates in any way, but it was just something that came.
That does kind of resonate. Thank you.
Okay, good. Anyone else have feedback for Jillian? What came up? Yeah, I think like simplicity is, and give them something they can't say no to, right? Because for me, as you said that, like, which one do I want? And there's like, in the group one, do I still get the basic one? Can I do the 3? But it's like, it's this or this, like A or B.
Yeah. Sounds great.
Yeah, I hope that helps.
It does. Thanks.
Welcome. When are you starting that mastermind?
I'm gonna my plan is to put it out this week on like a pre-launch, so like a wait list, and then when I feel like I have enough on the wait list, I'll actually start it up. So
Beautiful, good strategy. Wait lists are huge. I fill up my programs at wait lists. Excellent. Thanks, Julian. Natasha, I don't know if you are just observing or if you have any questions you would like support with. I'll give you a minute if I don't hear from you.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I had an issue with so I introduced myself to the market like the end of last month, and I got some good organic like fairs, people viewing it, but I had like maybe 2 people that actually filled out the application, but they didn't schedule anything. They didn't schedule like the consultation, the
Okay.
in-person session. And then also I wanted to see like, do I need to boost my introduction post to get more people to don't boost it?
So, yeah.
So like I'm trying to get more interaction on the post or get more people, to see me.
Okay. It's a little choppy, so I'll just feedback what I thought I heard there. So you did a post.
All right.
Sorry?
I have a mask. That's why you can't hear.
Okay. I'm going to just can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So from what I understand, you made the introduction post. 2 people had applied, but they didn't book a consultation with you.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the intention behind this post?
It was my introduction to the spiritual, to the life coaching, and then I also was for the class to get some people for the practice session.
Oh, so get the practice clients. Okay. So it's an introduction. So that should be one post as an introduction. And then they applied to, so it's an introduction / you're looking for practice clients, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So that's good. You made the introduction. You got 2 people to apply. Now, okay. So I would do another post that's specific on what you are looking for. You're looking for 3 or whatever number of practice clients. And then the application should lead them to them booking the thing right away. So you want to make it easier and take out as many steps, because I felt like there was a gap there. So I thought, like, what are they applying for and what are they waiting for the next step? Do you know what I mean? Was that communicated exactly the process here?
Both steps were like I had like Calendly where they
Okay.
schedule, and then I had the Google form where they fill it out, but they only completed the first step, which was the Google form.
Okay, so they have to then go into Calendly and book a time.
Correct. So do I
Okay.
need to reach out to them and send them the scheduling, or I don't know where I need to go from
Yeah.
there.
So I would do that for the 2 who apply to see if they're still interested and book the time. So you can book a manual with them. And then if you're for the future ones, I would just have one link. So it's just straight to Calendly, or I use You Can Book Me. And so the questions are there and they can pick a time. So just make it one streamlined thing. So there's less back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I would do there.
You can
Copy.
also put the calendar, the Google form link in your confirmation email, so they schedule, and then they get an email that says, "I'd appreciate if you take 5 minutes to prepare for our call by filling out the form at this link." And like,
Okay.
so you can also do it that way, but you want to like focus on getting them to schedule first, because you can do an intake call without the form. Like, you know how to do it, and you can do it without the form. So focus on getting the scheduling, and then the intake form's just icing on the cake.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Okay.
Good.
That's okay. And then as far as getting more people to see it or schedule, should I, like you said, create another post? Should I boost it to get more people?
I don't think put any money towards boosting. I think you want to work on organic right now. So I would do more posts. I would do some videos. Like what stuff lights you up? Is there people you can reach out to? Who your projector? So anyone who has recognized you as an authority, as a guide, that you could, you want to wait for that invitation as well. So is there people who are like, wow, it's really good what you've done, or this really speaks to me? You can follow up with those people,
I don't
right?
really talk to a lot of people.
Sorry?
I don't talk to a lot of people.
Okay, well, we have to start. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
would just also add, Natasha, like another place that you can kind of network if you don't have a lot of followers is like find groups that are relevant and interesting. Now, don't advertise in them because it'll get you banned. So don't post your thing asking for clients, but just post helpful things. Comment on people's posts, like make posts of your own that like deliver a little value and get those people to come follow you on your main profile.
Yeah, that's a
okay,
good strategy.
okay. I'll use that as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And also too, for Starseed to get your requirements in, if you end up just getting 2 people, you can just do more sessions with them as well,
Okay, okay.
right? I think longer the better with one client, so they, you really get that experience of, they get that experience of progress. I really think it takes time to really see results unfold. So don't pressure yourself that you can't get 4, you can get 3, or if you really just stuck on 2, but I think you could get 3. I don't see why. If you have 2 people already applied, you just need to get 1 more person, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you may also get people like once you start working with someone, they may refer someone too. So that's always good too. Ask that person after you have 1 or 2 sessions and they're getting some value. Ask them if they have anyone to refer for that.
Okay.
Excellent. Good idea, Julian.
Thank
Does that feel
you.
complete? Yep.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to put all those into effect.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Roz, we didn't get to you today, did we? Did you say something already?
I mean, I chimed in on SB's, but not for myself. Hi everybody, I'm Roz Kincaid, Soul Healing with Roz. And I'm a student of Minerva's in her Starseed, so I might make some references to that, just FYI. But okay, Minerva.
What's coming up?
Say this, but I really don't mean to come across as being money hungry. But I seem to be circulating the same type of broke ass client.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm just being honest. Like they
No,
want
I
that.
love the honesty.
They want the transformation. They're ready to do the work, but I don't talk money until they ask me for it. Since we learned this new way now to I defer the money talk until the very end. If they don't end up bringing it up, I'm not yet at the point where I'm just ready to hand them an agreement and say, oh yeah, by the way, it's going to cost you this much. So I kind of put it on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to figure out what is it about me that I'm attracting these broke ass clients? Like, I know y'all working, you buying everything else, but you don't want to invest the money in yourself to really get free from all the stuff that you don't want to be stuck in. It's a little bit annoying to me.
For
And
sure.
I don't know why that is like, and I don't want to like judge people, but at the same time, it's like you say you want the help, but you don't want to come out of your pocket and invest. Now, and I'm not asking you to give me the money. I'm saying invest in yourself. You would pay a gym membership and don't go. So we're talking about changing your whole life and the way that you show up in life, which is much more impactful in all areas of your life than going to a gym that you don't go to.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the topic of money. And so let's start with you. This is layered, right? Like, so you're going to do like 2 classes on this at Starseed.
Yay.
Yeah. So a few things that's coming up, because you see, I heard you say, what is it about me? So I'm going to use your language. What is in your vibration that's attracting broke ass people?
I don't want to be broke. I mean, I'm not broke, but just to give some context, like you, Caitlin, I'm unemployed as well, but I'm running my business full time, and that's new for me. So I feel like there's this added pressure of, I need to see some money in my house.
What else?
Like,
coming up?
So I don't want to be broke. I don't want to, I don't want to send the message to people that, I'm the homegirl next door who will help you, but I'll do it for free. Yes, I'll still be the homegirl next door that will help you, but I don't want to do it for free either. And
Yeah.
and I don't know if I'm coming across too casual for people
Mm-hmm.
that makes them feel like what I'm offering is cheap, because I don't feel like it's cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll just feedback a couple of things here, because even though you are quote unquote unemployed, I know you invested in yourself. It's like this is the second or third time we're working together in some capacity, right? So what the words that are standing out is pressure, defer, I don't want to be broke. So there's something there's just like, I'm just getting this like image of like this leap of like, how do I explain this? This is because I'm feeling a lot of this right now. And so sometimes it's hard to articulate this in words, but there's something in the vibration of like, with that word defer, is there like, what's the fear around money? Like, I'm trying to avoid it. Like, there's a resistance. So they can pick that up. Like, they may not be conscious of it, but there's something energetically and like that need, like, I need to bring money and I'm unemployed right now. I like that need, that defer, that pressure, that fear, like all that stuff's underlining how we are showing up. Right. So it's nothing to do with your skill. It's nothing about attracting people. It's something to do energetically in the unseen that needs clearing, in terms of, and you even started off really strong of like, I don't want to be money hungry, but so what's the judgment around money that you have? Remember one of our group coaching sessions, we started off saying, I love money. Like we chanted it and some people were like, holy shit, I can't say that. That right there is what needs to be cleaned up.
I
'Cause if
love
you
money.
don't,
I just don't like asking people for it, because it feels like I'm asking for a handout, or that,
all of the, yeah.
yeah,
Say,
you
yeah,
know what I'm
keep
saying?
saying.
Yeah, and I'm afraid to lead with that when I'm doing intro sessions or whatever, because it's almost like I feel like I'm asking people for a handout, and I've been in situations where people have asked me right out, okay, well, how much is it going to cost me? I give them the price and crickets, nothing. And then too, on top of that, I've been taught that you don't ask people for money. You shouldn't ask people for money. You need to go out there and figure out a way to go find it yourself. That's been the messaging.
So all of that needs to be destroyed, uncreated, and let it all go.
Yeah.
All of that. I love money, but I don't want to ask for it. So it's like, I love money, but I don't want to receive it. Right. Remember, we changed the word money. If we just I look at money as just energy. So if we change all of our statements from money to energy, I love energy, but I don't want to receive it. I love energy, but I just don't want to ask people for it. I love money, but I feel bad asking. Sorry, I love energy, but I feel bad asking for energy. Doesn't that like sound crazy?
Yeah.
Right. So we are blocking. That's where I'm getting the sense. This is an energetic thing, because it's not a matter of skill or you building your business or the right offerings. I don't think it's any of that. I think it's all of that judgment around money that needs to be cleared. Tonight, right at Starseed, we're going to do a really good exercise around clearing these beliefs, because the vibrational thoughts are just not aligned to someone who's ready and willing to pay for it. So we're always attracting based on where we're at or where we're vibing at. Right. So how is this a reflection of you? Right. So I'm attracting. So it's not they're broke, because clearly, like you said, they have a job, they have money, they pay. It's not a matter of not having the money. It's a matter of resisting and not receiving it, feeling that judgment around receiving the money. Right. And once you clear that up, you're going to get someone be like, how much is it? Sure. How do I pay? Sure. Can I do full? Is there a discount for full? Sure. Right. So we're always attracting based on where we're at. The energy that always. And it's not a judgment. It's not like to get down on ourselves. It's actually, thank you for showing me my ish, right? Like it's a mirror right now. This is what needs to be cleared. And it takes time and it's layered, right? So there's even those moments of like, today actually I was reflecting on my money energy. And before, what my monthly pricing was at, I would say it and cringe a little, like underneath it. But now I say it, I'm like, yeah, that's my price. And I feel good about it. And I have people saying, okay, can I pay in full then? And I say, no problem. Right. So it is a process, right? So this is just great. Just so what I would recommend is start to looking at what are the beliefs and thoughts or judgments you have around money, because that's what needs to be cleared. Okay. Or what is it? You can even do it opposite way of like, what is it that your clients are thinking? Right. It's too much. I don't have the money, not now. So how is that reflecting to you? Because those are somehow reflected in your vibration. Maybe not the exact same way. Maybe it's a mirroring in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just an opportunity to clean up that money vibration. And it's never about being money hungry. Like, I mean, I believe that's why I said I believe with Starseed students, right? You deserve that energy. You give energy, you deserve energy back, right? There's that imbalance if otherwise.
Yeah.
Because you're afraid to receive the money is why, like, you're afraid, like, to receive that money is why people are coming to you so casually thinking like, maybe she'll do this for free, because you're telling them, I actually don't want to receive that money. I don't want to receive money. On the subconscious level. Obviously on the conscious level, you're like, what? Why the hell would I not want to receive the money, right? Subconsciously, you're letting them know, I actually don't want to receive your money. That's why you're attracting broke ass people. Does that resonate?
Mm-hmm.
And I love saying that word too. It's funny. It's not a judgment to people, but it's just, your sayings are just hilarious to me. You know that.
True. Like, we live in a broke ass mentality society, and I don't want to be a part of it anymore. That's why I'm annoyed about it, because I don't, that to me says that I'm ready to get out of it.
Yeah.
I wonder though, Roz, like, are you really in it, or is it something else kind of in a way? Because like, you worked in IT. So I know at some point somebody asked you what your salary requirements were. Did you hesitate with that?
No.
Yeah. Why? So why is coaching different?
Because it's not something that I have 10 plus years behind me doing. I don't feel like, oh, okay.
There you go.
There you go.
I really don't feel like I have the credibility to be asking for the kind of money that I'm asking for in this field.
Yeah.
Is that true? How old are you, Roz, if you don't mind sharing, or age range?
I am 44.
Okay. So how many life experiences, trials and tribulations, studies, books, cries, joys did you have to go through to be where you are right now?
A lot. And it doesn't feel like I had to do it for a long time either, because it was a lot at one time.
And how much energy did that take for you to be where you are today?
Shit, a lot. It's still taking a lot, because I'm still in the process. I'm always be in the process. But looking back over my shoulder, like, I came a long way.
Yes. So if money is energy, how would you quantify that energy? Just offering another way to start looking at this in terms of your worthiness and deserving of receiving this money.
Like, I've invested a lot. I mean, it feels like it's 10 years plus.
It's been lifetimes.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Yeah, I've invested so much.
Yeah. So whoever told you that it was a matter of number of years in order for you to be worthy of receiving payment right now, will you destroy, uncreate, and let that all go?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
It's okay. You can sit with that. So wherever that belief is that your worth is based on the numbers, like number of years in this business, or resumes or courses or whatever on that resume, whoever told you that needs to be destroyed, uncreated, and let it all go. You need to toss that out of the vibration, because you are not that. You is based on energy, right? If money is energy, you are quote unquote charging based on that energy exchange. Because if I said, okay, Roz, I'm going to do this, but I'll pay you just $1, what would you say there?
Let me refer you to this person.
Well, something is off there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that energy where you were talking about, like, I've been doing this for years, like maybe the last 10 years consciously, right? But you've invested, like, forget about, you can even make a list of like every course you've invested, every podcast, every book, every minute. Well, like all, I just say make a list of the energy you spent to be who you are today, because that's what people is paying for. Is that energy, is that life experiences, your knowledge, your wisdom. You can get a download right now that you didn't train for or didn't know yesterday. Like what's the value of that? Right? You're not charging. If you're charging on your years in this, you're going to limit yourself. But if you start charging based on your energy, your wisdom, your gifts, that is priceless. Okay. So you just, I know it's layered, as I mentioned, right? But some things for you to start thinking about, but to anchor this in, what's the thing that's really speaking to you?
I think it's the, how can I say it? Attaching the value to like time spent or investment made or how much amount, attaching value to some type of amount. Like, how much wisdom do you have? Well, how old do you need to be? Or how long have you been doing this? And it's that, and I get that, but detaching from that, there's something in the way that won't allow me to like let go of attaching value to a number of years or a number of hours or I've been in this business for this long. I should, I don't know. There's something that I can't like get away from. And I don't know if it's that repeated messaging from people that I've met along the way. I don't know what it is, but it's, I'm having a hard time.
Right. And that's okay. There's like, it's something that's been buried and now you're just kind of uprooting it. So it's going to take some time to totally like uproot that seed. But it was somewhere in the messaging that your worth is determined based on like number of years or accreditations or like what is seen, like what you can write down on a checklist, like certifications and stuff like that. Right. So then when we base it off of that, then that's where it, like I mentioned, is going to be limited. But I also feel if you were to just sit down and just put a price based on all of those accreditations and coach people, you're going to be met with that resistance still. Like you're not going to feel fulfilled. You're going to feel like something's lacking because it's not matching your energy and it's not matching what you're offering. Right. So there's some unconditioning and reconditioning that needs to happen there. But this is good. We're going to clear some of that money stuff. I would suggest bringing that to tonight's class with some of the exercises we're going to do with the spiritual tools.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks for bringing that one. That's a really good topic.
Thanks.
But, I've been there. It can be worked through. But it's just so freeing. And it's just part of the next part of the process. And you going through this is going to help people. And you're going to see the quality of people who show up. So if you make your prices based on your time, based on your accreditation, based on you think you're worth, you're going to be met with clients who challenge that, right? Who's going to use that as a marker, right? Or when you use it as a marker of your life experience, your energy, your trust and the confidence in yourself and the work you've done within yourself, you're going to be met with a different type of client who trusts you and your energy and needs your guidance, and they're empowered. They're inspired by that. They don't care about the accreditations. They're like, PCC, ACC, what? Like, who cares? Like, that's not even a thing, right? They're just there for the transformation, for the work, for your energy, and you're always drawing based on your vibration that you're putting out. So you're there, you're getting there. This is the work. Okay, y'all. So we went over 1:11, perfect, Eastern time. Okay, so thank you, everyone. I know people just had to start jumping off. So thank you for joining the July hot seat coaching. Our next one will be in August 3rd. We'll send the recording out as well as confirmation of our next date, and then we'll send the Zoom recording. So please join us again. If you know someone else who could benefit from this, please invite them to this as well. And that is it. Thank you so much and have a great day. Good to see everyone.
Thank you, Minerva.
You're welcome. Take care.